Several months ago, I said that I was supporting Mitt Romney for President of the United States in 2012. And I still feel that Governor Romney is a phenomenal candidate and would make a good president. But I think that I would like to, in all honesty, step back a moment and examine the candidates and keep an open mind about who I am going to ultimately vote for in the Republican primary. I very well might support Mitt Romney in the primary. But if you look back to what I said a couple months ago, I believe it was last September, I said that it could change. I am not saying that I'm not going to vote for Mitt Romney, but I want to just say that I admire Mitt Romney. I think was a good governor of Massachusetts. He made his share of mistakes, but he was a good governor. He was a very successful businessman. I think he has the right vision to move this country forward. But I think that there are also some other good candidates out there. And I feel that I made a mistake in declaring that I was a Romney supporter early on in the game. I'm not going to make the decision about who I intend to vote for until sometime in the summer, because frankly, I have not given other candidates a fair shot at winning my vote. Now, I'm only one person, but I just wanted to express how I feel. And let me tell you what I'm looking for in a candidate. And perhaps some of you out there who are supporting, whether you're supporting Mitt Romney or somebody else, you can suggest who I vote for. And I'll probably make this decision sometime in June or July about who I'm ultimately going to vote for in the Republican primary. Certainly, Mitt Romney is somebody who I would enthusiastically vote for. And the reason that I am not saying committed to him 100% is not because of anything that he's done, but simply to give other candidates a fair chance. People who I might not have known were running earlier or did not recognize as good candidates earlier. I'm looking for a candidate who I think is going to create jobs in this country, a candidate who's fiscally responsible with tax dollars, somebody who recognizes that tax relief um, helps spur economic growth more than any stimulus programs. I want somebody who's going to secure the border and make sure that we stop the flow of illegal immigration. Somebody who believes in a strong national defense, that believes that we need to pursue the enemy overseas and keep in place the Patriot Act and the Department of Homeland Security. And I recognize that Mitt Romney, as well as some other candidates, believe in these things. But I'm also looking for the candidate who I believe can beat Barack Obama, and the candidate who I believe is a reformer. And I'm not necessarily looking, I'm not going to disqualify any Washington insider, but I would prefer somebody who is not a Washington insider. Now, I'm open to several candidates. There's several candidates who have appealed to me on different levels, Mitt Romney obviously being one of them. Um, I obviously might still be voting for him in the primary, but I'm simply going to give other candidates a chance to win my support. Governor Romney has a lot of strengths. He's a very smart person. I think that I agree with him on the issues I mentioned, on the economy, on foreign affairs, and on immigration. I just have to hear if he's going to, what he has to say about his health care plan. His governorship certainly was, I think that most of what he did as governor, he made mainly good decisions, but there are a couple things that I didn't agree with. And I think that his inconsistencies on abortion, on ethanol, or farm subsidies rather, on and on campaign finance, I think these are issues that have to be addressed. Nonetheless, I think overall he would be a good candidate and a great president. But I think that he does have his flaws. I'm not going to deny that. Tim Pawlenty is somebody who impresses me tremendously. He also has changed positions on some issues, like cap and trade. But I think that overall he's also a candidate I'm impressed with. Mitch Daniels, I'm impressed with. I'm impressed with most of the candidates. Michelle Bachmann, you know, um, I don't know who else is going to run. I can't tell you who I won't be voting for. I will not be voting for Ron Paul. He's weak on national security. I will not be voting for Sarah Palin. She's inexperienced and not smart enough to be president. I will not be voting for Gary Johnson because he is a Ron Paul bot. And I probably prefer not to vote for Rick Santorum. I would vote for him in a general election, but I don't intend on voting for him in a primary, given his position on Donald Rumsfeld when he was in the United States Senate. So let me make this clear. Mitt Romney is somebody I am likely to support Mitt Romney. Let me take that back. Mitt Romney is somebody who is in consideration, but I feel that my earlier announcement of my support for him was a bit premature. Now, if Mitt Romney somehow, by some miracle, sees this, I don't want him to think that I'm not going to vote for him, but I'm not definitely voting for him, and I'm going to give other candidates a fair chance to win over my support, which I would advise all of you to do. I'm not going to make my decision till probably June. And I think that Mitt Romney certainly has what it takes to be the president. But I have to see a couple things. One, I think electability is an issue. He matches the criteria that I just stated earlier. He's strong on national security. He's fiscally conservative. He understands the economy. He understands the border. But his electability, why I question his electability, is because I'm not sure that the conservative base is going to accept the fact that he flip-flopped on abortion, on farm subsidies and campaign finance, and that he supported, he also once said he was an independent during the time of Reagan-Bush, but that was a long time ago, I know, and that he also supported assault weapons ban, even though as governor of Massachusetts, the assault weapons ban he did sign loosened up restrictions on other guns. So I would say that, electability is a big part. Look, I'm sure Romney could beat Barack Obama, but I want to be positive. I'm relatively certain he can, but I'm not positive. And there are other candidates who, frankly, deserve my consideration, as they do all of yours. So we'll have to see what happens. Look, I know this. I don't want Obama reelected because I don't think that he loves his country. He's a smart man. I wish him all the best. But I don't think that philosophically I don't agree with what he's doing. I don't think that he understands a lot of what he's doing and how it's going to have a long-term effect on the people of this country. And I think that he does not deserve, frankly, to be reelected.